And welcome back to our Wisco Radio halftime show here, the Vikings and Thunderbirds halftime, and joined by the girls basketball coach, Bart Leibfried. Bart, really appreciate the time as you look forward to your season starting here.
Thanks for having me, Brad.
Well, obviously you've got a rooting interest in this football season as well, Bart. Just real quickly, just talk about what this season has meant to the players, the team, the parents, the fans. It's been a fun ride.
It has been a really fun ride. I got a lot of these kids in classes. They're my son's friends. Know a lot of the coaches, so it's been fun. Hopefully, we can keep this thing rolling and going and carry it out and play in Camp Randall. I would love to have to call Brad at Stoughton and tell him we have to cancel our game that night because we're playing at Camp Randall on that Friday. So
Yeah, I think that's probably a coach's dream, right? It's a small community like ours. You've got, I know you're coaching the girls, but obviously multi-sport athletes here in a community our size, and it's great when the community comes together. And I don't think a basketball coach minds making that phone call.
nope, that would be a good one.
Well, let's talk about the girls basketball program here, Bart. Year number two for you being a head coach. Last year, you came into the head coaching role late in the process, very close to the start of the season. Just talk about that process and just how you went from an assistant to a head coach in such a quick time frame.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise, and it was, gave us, we had like 3 days to prepare. Luckily, Coach Showers and I had been in the program, knew the kids, knew the girls, knew their strengths, weaknesses. I was around all summer with them, had been around for the last couple of years with them. So that made the transition a lot easier. We didn't change a whole lot last year. We're going to look to change some things this year that we want to do that we think fit our kids better. But last year we kind of stayed with the same system. We had great senior leadership. Maisha Thompson last year was fabulous. Delaney Duckett was fabulous. We had the two best managers. They were at every single practice, every single game. Never missed anything with Ella and Delana. So it was a smooth transition, and we thought the season went very well.
Well, now you've got a full off season under your belt. Just talk about so season ends. And one thing we talked about with Coach Nessheim too, and I experienced it too being a coach, is there's a whole lot that goes on in the off season that nobody ever sees. But just talk about the off season program and what you liked best from your team this year.
Well, this spring, our last spring and this summer, our kids were really committed to the weight room. We hired Baki Athletics to lead, and Kirsten Baki actually worked the girls out at the high school fitness center in the mornings, 4 days a week, all summer long. So we made a huge commitment to the weight room, which is one of our weaknesses was just physical strength. And it's going to help us prevent injuries and just conditioning and everything. Girls were committed all summer. We played in two leagues. We were in four different summer tournaments. They worked out every morning after lift. They would come over to the middle school gym, and they would either 2 days a week. We had Coach Nadalkoff there from All In Sports, and he worked the girls out and did workouts. The other 2 days they had open gyms where they just came in and shot and worked. So we had a really, really good summer to build off of that. We got lots of youth participation in our summer camps. We had fantastic numbers there. So we feel like everything's moving in the right direction, and we just hope that all that work, we can see the dividends this season.
Well, we'll do a quick preview here coming up of this upcoming season, which for you starts here very soon. But I just wanted to ask, you're one of the busiest people I think around. You're going to have your two sons playing
Yep.
high school basketball. You're coaching girls basketball. How do you make something like that work?
Well, it can be tough. I just joked with you a little bit that sometimes you need a good wife that tells you where to go, right, and where to be. Last year, with all like the snow conflicts, I did miss 11 games of Austin's. This year, we only have, I think, 5 conflicts right now that, where girls are playing at the same time as boys or the same nights. Luckily, both my boys are very understanding. Luckily, I can go back and watch the games on Wisco Radio when I get home. My girls in our program are super understanding. sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, you got to get out of practice because you need to get to their games." And so that's been really good, and the parents have been supportive. So it is busy, but it's fun and enjoyable. I really like it.
Well, hopefully you are going to be really busy here with the girls' season really upon us here November 6th. You start practice. Just talk about the expectations for this year and what are you hoping for coming in?
Well, we return 7 letter winners or 7 girls that actually started at some point last year. So we're going to have quite a bit of experience. We got 5 returning seniors with Rowan Johnson and Ella Fager, Katie Smith, Jada Matthews, and Ava Kolb, and then 2 returning juniors that played a lot of minutes for us last year, Morgan Monroe and Hallie Klein. All 7 of those kids were at everything this summer. They've been at open gyms as much as possible. I mean, some of them play golf and they're in volleyball. They would still be at open gyms if they could make it. So we feel like we're going to return quite a bit of experience. We've got really good young kids in the program. So expectations are pretty high. Our conference is really, really good. We've got McFarland, who's got not only a top girl in the conference, but she's a top 50 kid in the country going to Iowa. So they're going to be really good. Edgewood's going to be really good. I was talking to the Reedsburg coach, and he's like, "We're going to be really down," but he returns the top scorer in the state with Cherney. So they're going to be really good. So our conference is going to be really challenging, but we think we can be in the mix in that top tier with those other teams.
All right. Well, we are going to be following both boys and girls this year, and it's going to be fun to watch the growth in the girls program. I'm really excited for that, and excited to see maybe this football team at Camp Randall as well. So
It'd be nice.
a lot of great things happening here at Mount Horeb. So Bart, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, Bart Leibfried, head coach of our girls basketball here on Wisco Radio. Wrapping up our halftime show as the Vikings and Thunderbirds wrap up the second half on Wisco Radio.